Welcome everyone to the newest edition of One Box Brew. Tonight we have a special one. We have our very first hero that's also in a starter deck. So I'm going to briefly explain the thought process behind how I built the deck. Then we'll actually talk about the hero, talk about the deck, just so the intentions are clear for everyone watching and for myself. So when we started this series, I knew that the starter deck heroes were going to be the last ones we did because I was going back and forth about whether or not they should be upgraded starter decks or if I should treat them like all of the other one box brews with just extra cards. Because if you're going to play a starter deck hero, you should buy a starter deck along with a booster box, in my opinion. And ultimately, I decided to treat it like all the other one box brews where I basically made the deck from scratch, just with I had a few extra options for rare cards and stuff that the other ones wouldn't have had. And it ultimately came down to I just couldn't justify calling it an upgrade video because I don't have 3 rares of everything. I didn't want to play an Exalter, and I think telling a new player, which is who these one box brew videos are focused on, new players or casual players, to go spend 3 times X amount of money to upgrade their deck so that they can play casually at a store because they're not trying to win every event or to play with their family or friends. It's just asking a lot of someone. So we're just treating it like a normal one box brew, which means it's going to be very janky. This is not an upgrade guide. This is if you thought this hero looked cool and you saw it in the starter deck and you just want to practice building things on your own and you just want to learn how to think about the hero, then that's the video. Not an upgrade guide. We'll talk about upgrading this idea later on, and as always, because every faction has 3 heroes, I try to make the decks as different as possible, although there will always be some overlap. So you might see cards that are missing that you're like, well, this 100% should be in there, but it's possible it was in another hero, or it's possible I just didn't have one. It's one box. It's just gonna happen. So let's talk about the hero, Sierra and Oddball. So they're an Axiom Hero with when you play a permanent with hand cost 3 or more, you may exhaust me to create a Brass Bug 2/2/2 robot token and target expedition. So this hero is one of the ones that we've mentioned a lot of these heroes that kind of lack support in this first set, which it's funny that it was the starter deck hero, but I think it was the starter deck hero because it's the hero in the game that cares the most about permanents. The struggle currently is that you can only have 2 permanents at a time with this hero, and they tend to be a little overcosted for what they do at first because they stay out. Especially the common versions, I think, tend to be a little overcosted, and there's not a ton of cost reducers. And so, I'm kind of explaining the deck already, but we have permanents. This is one thing I kind of kept from the starter deck, just because I've played it, and also it is the permanent hero, so I kept a pretty high number of permanents, 10 or more. I only used ones that cost 3 or more so that they would all work with Sierra's ability. I know some people build Sierra with lower cost permanents too, but I'm not a huge fan of that personally. I like when the cards do the thing more than efficiency sometimes. It just depends on what I'm trying to do. So we've got the rare Brassbug Hive. We've got a couple common ones, Brassbug Hub, only 2 copies. We've got some resupplying. We have 2 Ouroboros Lyra Bastions. Now, some people don't like this card, and this is sort of me trying it out and like a more fully fleshed out idea. The times I've used it, it's been okay. I want to see how it works with Sierra. It definitely, it's this weird thing with Traced, another Axiom hero, where it's like he doesn't really need it, but also it fits better in it. We have 4 Disruption, which if you were here on Sunday, you'll know that I get these 2 cards mixed up all the time, so that's going to be fun. And then it's sort of like a pretty standard Sierra package. We have a lot of ways to, or we have basically every way to make permanents cost less. Foundry Engineer, Foundry Mechanic, we have a Frog Prince, and then we have things that care about having permanents. So the 3 little pigs care. We have things that activate our permanents again, like Inari. And then just some sabotage cares about permanents. It's really like, it's kind of tough. And the other, like, one of the main reasons why we're doing the Axiom starter deck hero first for the last 6 One Box Brews is because they all basically end up playing very similarly if you put permanents in their decks. Like, they kind of end up making brass bugs. They kind of like want the permanents that cost less. They resupply a lot because that's Axiom's card advantage. And I'll probably say that's at the end, but Sierra is very similar to Subash, but just plays very differently. Her ability plays very differently. But let's see how Sierra does when you build her out of one deck or one box plus a starter deck, and see if I can kind of compare it to the other 2 for people at the end. Let's get into some games. Okay. We've got a Sigismar. You know what? Somehow there's no permanence. But it's not like the worst thing ever. Like, we could draw our permanent. 4 or more. Is Sticky Note Seal's gonna be good? We only have 4 actual, like, just non-sabotage disruption cards. But I feel like, ooh. Yeah, I think we have enough resupply. I'm keeping this because I would rather keep characters. We're not gonna use the sticky note seals anytime soon. Like, we're not gonna use it right now. Okay. So we can block them. So I didn't mention the unique in the deck intro because if you watch other Axiom videos, like, you might have seen it, but it's just from reserve. It may discard a card from your reserve. If you do, robots you control other than me gain 1 boost. I think it's probably better in Subash. I think Subash makes more Brassbug tokens. I'm hoping with additional sets Sierra gets better because I actually like her design a lot. It's one of my favorite cards. Okay. So we do have 10 permanents. The other thing is, I'm wondering, like, if 10 is too low. I think the starter deck has 11. So I went one down, but we have a lot more, like, resupply and ways to find the permanents. So it kind of ends up being okay. So they have like a ton of mana. So we might just have to lose out on a side or play this and maybe tie them. Maybe they just go over there. Yeah. Okay. Well, they went kind of hard. Uh, uh, ooh, that is unfortunate. So we won't move at all. We should have played this first if we were gonna play it. Yeah, so we're just gonna pass. We just have to let them move. Hopefully we draw a permanent or something. Cause like, there's another permanent that costs, I think, 4 at rare, and I think it might be 3 at common, that you can, the common version Kelon generator, it's like pay 2 mana, exhaust it, draw a card. And I just don't like that card, personally. Okay. We're gonna get rid of this. I just feel like it's too slow, personally. And like, if there was cards that were like abilities cost less or something, or I don't know. Having a deck dedicated to permanents is just really weird in the game right now. The games, I have to say, the game is not really designed to have a deck dedicated to permanents. It's a lot of stuff. Go on, burst that. Or can't do both, unfortunately. Yeah, I think we're just kind of losing this war already, unfortunately. Just a rough start followed by rough sequencing. Okay, so they just passed, so you can pass. Okay. I want to keep this just in case, but it is kind of rough to. Alright, look. We always played the risky way. Okay, we finally got. Okay, so alright. Can finally kind of do stuff. Or at least we can finally use Sierra's ability. Which I call a win in my book. I hope everyone's having a good Wednesday. I had to think about that really hard. I'm not gonna lie. we will invoke a brass bug. We're gonna invoke it on the hero side. So we can kill on burst if we need to kill on burst. We can resupply. This deck is just so slow. So someone who periodically watches and we periodically play on stream plays a control version of Sierra. That can be pretty interesting. Man, we're just like, the problem is we're just not gonna move. But I think we, oh, actually, you know what we should do? Okay. We're gonna discard the Ordis carrier. Now this might slow us down too much. There wasn't, I don't really think it was, I could have done it before, but maybe I could have. They still have 3 mana left. This might get them to move to, okay. Yeah, well they're definitely gonna move. But they are using a charge. And the Ordis carrier is gone, and they didn't play another one, so I don't think we're gonna slow them down, but you know, it's okay to dream. Do another. So that costs a lot of mana, though. Okay. I don't know if this is correct, but it will show us more cards in the long run. Okay, we're gonna do this. We're gonna put it here. And now we're resupplying. Ooh, a 4 over there is pretty good. Okay, I picked something to discard. We're gonna discard the Axiom. Also, we can resupply with this. Oh man, okay, wait. They're like really throwing me off now because they're not winning over there. But they might if they play one more thing. Oh man. Okay. So okay. I think we resupply. Ooh. 3/3/3 is pretty good too. We have to stop them from moving though. Okay. We're going to discard this. Okay. I could resupply again, but like I think we'll save it. I'm gonna resupply this way anyway. So I think that they're still gonna move. Okay, we're gonna keep the Tinkerbell because sabotage is pretty good in this situation. They could have another charge, and that'll do it. Oh. So they will move, but they'll move on one side. Yeah. But they're out of cards. Honestly, after our like pretty bad start, I'm surprised the game's still going. Okay, well we can discard one of these for sure. Alright, well we're definitely going to sabotage. At least we like have mana now. We can make a bug. We could resupply for something bigger too. A 3/3/3 is not bad though, to be honest. Okay, we'll go here. Yeah, we're gonna use the support ability. So I select a permanent. We're gonna do it on this one. Confirm effect. Okay. Neither of these are especially helpful, to be honest. I'm looking for a hive, essentially. Hey Draconis, how are you doing? Welcome, welcome. Yes, I'm playing Altered very early. It did. It just got it today. Which is exciting. Oh my god, I was so lucky. Wow. They thought they had it. Yeah, okay. Wow. I can't believe we held them off. Okay, here we go. That's what we want to see. It's not a rare one, but at least we can replace the... I kind of want to resupply though. Okay, so this will cost 2, 5, 6. Yeah, we can keep everything. That's fine. We're gonna put it on this side. I'm like 80%. I only did Stardew for like an hour, and I'm basically just recording the next gameplay video, and then I'll hop off just to like not push myself too hard. Tomorrow I should be like 90%, and then Sunday I should be back to normal. Man, last Sunday, like the whole stream, I was like, you know what? I feel like I'm gonna feel bad tomorrow. And as soon as stream ended, I like had a fever and was like excruting everywhere. Like it was really bad. I basically slept all day Monday. Okay. So you're going there, huh? It just like makes sense. Eating's been kind of hard. Yeah, for sure. Pass. Wait, did I not block you? I had to block you, right? Alright. We caught up. I can't believe we caught up. The beginning of this game was so bad. Although this is bad. This is also bad. But this is not bad. Interesting. Okay. Why is it 4 or less? I have to discard. But I can't discard. Oh no. I'm gonna resupply. We're gonna risk discarding the Koan Burst. This might be the like game losing move for me. The Jean d'Arc is tough to deal with. I think we only have 1 sticky note seals, so like we really wanted to get sabotage essentially. It doesn't really matter what side we play on. Okay, so I'm pretty sure they got it, especially with this. Wow, this Sierra just needs so much mana to like actually be useful. It's kind of rough because we can play this. Wow, that Kelon burst would have been so good right now. That's funny. I mean, we're gonna do this, and we're just gonna kind of hope they punt, I guess. There's like no way. Yeah, we just can't catch up. Maybe we should have just played. Maybe we should have just played everything on one side. Because we'd be at 9. But then, like, they probably, yeah, no, we couldn't, because they would have just put everything, like, on that side, and then, yeah, GG. I'm surprised we lasted that long, to be honest. Okay, Afanas and Senka. We're really running into Yzmir. Ever since Ordis got nerfed, we're really running into Yzmir a lot lately. Okay, this isn't bad. We can make the permanents cheaper. We can draw. We can resupply. We can do. This is kind of a tough hand to keep. Alright, we're gonna get rid of the frog. We're gonna. Get rid of the rune. We're gonna. Let's see what they do. Oh, they're going for it. Okay. Well, in that case, we will also just go for it. Okay. Oh, for sure. They'll get better. Sierra and Arjun are the 2 heroes that I am very curious how they're gonna make better. I'm sure it's the plan. Like, it has to be the plan. I think Arjun's just inherently weak. And Sierra's tough because you can only have two permanent, you can only have two landmarks out. And like, I was saying this earlier, but like, she's a deck that wants you to play a bunch of landmarks, but you don't get the value out of them that you like should, because they don't go to your reserve. You discard them. So it's just, it's like a deck with a plan that fights against itself. Okay. 2 brass bug hives is pretty good. So I think I have more 3 little pigs. So we'll do that. Also, they might like sabotage this hive, so I'd rather keep it just in case. I think out of all of the weak heroes right now, Sadi's the easiest one to design cards for, probably. And Lindaway's not like too hard. Okay. Interesting. Okay. I think they're gonna block us then. Or they'll move unless they do something else. I don't know. Yeah, Lindaway, I don't think's that. I think like her cards could be like pretty intuitive to design. Sierra's, I just can't think of anything that they could do that would like make her better. Okay. They did exactly what I thought they would do. Auroch. Auroch is easy too. Just put 0 stats on characters that have like okay abilities. Like, done. Low cost, 0 statted things. Pretty easy. Taking a whole turn off to play this hive feels bad. Who else is there? Sadi seems easy. Arjun seems like the hardest by far. Why am I blanking? Oh, Golrong? Golrong is easy, but I don't think they're gonna do like what would make that hero like really good. Because the thing you have to do is give Ordis ramp, which I don't think they should do, and I don't think they will do. Okay. I mean, at least we're both moving this time. I really feel like I'm forgetting a faction, but I'm blanking so hard. Ooh, okay. We're going first. Sabotage. They have so many cards in their hand. Does Afanas ever play characters that are 4 more? They probably do. This is probably a mistake. I think it's been a mistake every single time I've put sticky note seals into mana. Okay. Let's just go here. Okay. So we can sabotage, resupply. Let's resupply first. Play this over here. Okay, that's 3 little pigs isn't bad. That might be enticing enough for them to like use mana and sabotage it. I was counting the factions because I really felt like I was missing one. Interesting. So what could they have? I think I actually want to do this. The Bravos Blade Dancer. Definitely one of the coolest cards in the game. A Banishing Gate. Oh, well. That's... okay. That's definitely not good. We kind of need those brass bug hives. This deck kind of feels like it requires brass bug hives, which is something like I'm not a huge fan of. Okay. Well, this is kind of awkward now because, well, I guess get rid of this because we don't have 2 permanents anymore. Here's another Ouroboros. Which we will probably play. Okay. They're just gonna play. Okay. I have to imagine they play the season. Not the season, the Bravos Blade Dancer. Freaking magic just like possessed my brain. That is not the card I meant. Okay, so we're going to support ability. Yeah, we're gonna resupply. Interesting. We're gonna discard this. I think we need characters right now. We are going to play this Bastion. We will play the brass book over here. Two Kellon burst. It's gonna be our turn next, so I think it's okay if we put that in reserve. So we can play this now, and it'll be 4. Kind of hoping they just make the Blade Dancer bigger. We can Kellon burst it. Just draw 2 cards. okay. That's not exactly what we want to see, but I think it's fine. Yeah, we will. Okay, I think we kill on burst first. Now this sequencing might be terribly wrong. But okay, they're gonna give it anchored. Yeah, we're gonna do this. This isn't the most exciting I've seen this card be, but, and I'm not even gonna discard anything. We gotta keep those 2 cards. Because unless they have a 1 drop that's like a 0/2/0, I hopefully will beat them. I'm gonna be sad if we needed to boost the brass bug. Or a spell. A spell works. But we couldn't have beaten it anyway, so that's okay. The Mage Dancer. I don't think we have anything to get rid of that anymore. And I just remembered Sabotage from hand. Not that I would have kept the other thing anyway, just because it just wouldn't have done enough. This is looking rough. Can't even play everything. We're gonna play this. Maybe they're just cool with going to a tiebreaker. I feel like these Axiom Yzmir games are just so long. Wow. Indeed. Okay. I'm surprised they didn't return meditation training to their hand. Maybe they're okay with paying 3 for it, but I feel like you like just anchor it again. I guess they're fine with paying 3 for it. I really don't think there's anything left in the deck that will get rid of that. So we're officially playing on only one side. They have so many cards in their hand. I mean, Athena's not bad, actually. We're not going first. They have so many cards in their hand. And this feels like somebody who would play Small Step. Although, apparently you should play Small Step in every Yzmir deck, but I don't know. That sounds kind of boring to me. Why would you put the same win condition in every hero? That's not ideal. So, alright, well, we're gonna sabotage. Can they get it up to an 8-8? Probably. I I honestly wouldn't be surprised if they got this one up to an 8-8 too. Our permanents have not done anything in a while, unfortunately. Wait, did they mean to do that? Well, this is annoying because they have enough mana to do both things now. This sends it back to reserve. Whatever. I mean, it's not GG. Why is it GG? You're still winning. It's just taking a while. They know that they can still do what they were trying to do, right? Like, I can't win on this side. This okay, look. This is a life lesson, but this is also like a game, a trading card game lesson. If you sit at your computer and you're like, I have 10 minutes to play a game, and you're gonna rush through it, and like, there's no way you're not gonna punt. Like, I punt because I'm talking the whole time, and I'm not rushing. And if I was rushing, I would like play so poorly. Just slow down, like relax. Maybe, but like the reason they're not realizing it is because like they said they got ahead of themselves. They're trying to rush. It's like just don't rush. Just you have like 3 minutes, a minute and a half. Like there's time. Like they're still like there's no way they're not gonna win. But they're trying to rush so quickly to the win that like if they were playing an actual deck, it would be so much worse for them. Well, I'm gonna sabotage first. Not the most ideal stats to have, to be honest. Just, it's gotta take it slow. There's no reason anyone should be going so fast in a card game that, like, you get ahead of yourself. I'm glad I got rid of their Mage Dancer, I guess. But I can't imagine a world where they don't just have a way to win. Especially 7 mana left, and they're just gonna keep drawing cards. And I officially have nothing left. They've gotta have this. They actually just have to play like a few more spells, and they're good. They don't even need another character. pass. Yep, that'll do it. GG. Should have happened a day ago, but they got there. Welcome back, everyone. So those were a couple games with the One Box Brew version of Sierra and Oddball. And as you saw, pretty tough games, pretty tough starts on both games, and sort of just fizzled out before we could close out the games. Got pretty close to winning, I think in both of them, if I remember correctly. I am recording the outro as soon as I finish the last game on the YouTube video, so it's hard for me to remember exactly, but we'll talk about it a little bit, and we'll talk about how I would improve the deck if I wanted to make it more competent, and that's going to be kind of an interesting topic, and we'll kind of talk about what I hope to see in future sets to help improve the hero. Apologies. So in terms of the games, our opening hands were almost always awkward, and that kind of leads me to my first point, which is it's really hard to judge with this hero how many permanents you want. I mentioned in the games a couple times, the ability fights with the way the game wants you to play the game. This game currently wants you to play characters that escalate as the game goes on, or you escalate them by doing other things as the game goes on. The problem with permanents, even though they make characters for you, but only one a day, and it has to cost 3 or more, and you can only have 2 permanents at a time, and you don't put them into reserve when you discard them, you just discard them. So it's like the game's telling you to not play a lot of permanents, but the hero's telling you play permanents. Because in an ideal world, you would use her ability every day, basically, which that's just not realistic right now. And I honestly don't know what they could add to the game that would make that even possible. You can't, like, I don't think they would ever add, you get extra permanent slots for the next 2 days or something. Like, that seems way too broken. And, like, I honestly, like, I've thought about this for forever because I actually really like Sierra and Oddball, and I can't think of anything. Like, cost reducers for permanents are great, but to make it worth it, you would need, like, to be able to play 3 cost reducers a turn, which then means you're probably not playing the permanents you wanted to play anyway. She's in this really awkward spot where she has a really cool, flavorful ability that actually, this is my own personal opinion, doesn't actually fit the game well. But she's still fun. It's just a struggle. I would definitely up the permanent count, but I don't think there's currently other permanents in the faction worth playing right now. I know some people run like the Axiom Jammer, but it doesn't really work with her ability, so I think it's kind of awkward. But again, that's just like personal like playstyle preference. I would up the like resupply count as much as I could because I just felt like we weren't seeing enough cards compared to other Axiom heroes who see cards constantly, and up the disruption count. Like, I think our cost reducer for permanent package was totally adequate. Like, you might want to switch them for rare versions if you have them. But honestly, like, 3 Muna Merchant would have been more useful than like a lot of the deck. And that's kind of how I feel about it. I'm very curious to see what they add to the game to like boost her up a little, because I think she's really cool, like aesthetically, and like I don't really read the lore, but just the way her character's presented on the card, I think is really cool. And I hope that they figure out a way to just improve how her deck functions, because right now it's just really rough. um I'm even asking myself if I think like having even more rares and like picking very specific things, like having even more cost reducers than the starter deck, it this deck didn't really feel any better. And like it should feel better because it's more focused. And like when I say feel better, I don't mean wins more. I literally just mean feels better to play. But even with twice as many cost reducers and very specific permanents that will like help dig through the deck more to get the brass bug hives and stuff, it just didn't feel any better than the starter deck. And I think that that's like kind of shows the issue. But I hope you enjoyed watching me struggle, at least. I don't know. I enjoy struggling, so I hope you enjoy watching it. I hope everyone's having a good time, and I hope you're having a good life, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.